Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Miller, and the SCP we're going to be looking at today is SCP-3166. Object Class: Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. The Garfield media franchise is to remain active and successful for as long as feasibly possible. Funding is to be provided to any Garfield media ventures via Foundation front companies present in the comic and film industries. Agents embedded within Paws Incorporated, sole owner of the rights to Garfield, and Andrews McMeel Syndication, primary distributors of the Garfield comic strip, are to place targeted mimetic agents in outgoing comic strips, encouraging the retention of a sizable Garfield fanbase and discouraging Jim Davis from discontinuing Garfield. Agents are to monitor individuals at significant risk of attack from SCP-3166. In the event of an SCP-3166 manifestation, agents are to use supplied frozen lasagna to lure SCP-3166 away from its target and dispatch it once out of public view. Any witnesses are then to be administered amnestics as appropriate for their level of exposure. Description: SCP-3166 is a 2.1 meter tall humanoid entity, presumed pataphysical in nature, known to manifest during periods when the Garfield media franchise is performing poorly in terms of public reception. The exterior layer of SCP-3166's body resembles a crudely made costume of the character Garfield, which field inspection has shown to be composed of legitimate cat fur. However, analysis of SCP-3166's composition in the field has shown that its interior mass is composed entirely out of pasta, specifically lasagna. Upon the criteria for its manifestation being met, SCP-3166 will appear in the vicinity of a suitable individual, hereafter referred to as the target, and move towards their location. Known targets of SCP-3166 have included individuals prominently involved in rival media to the Garfield franchise, individuals formerly involved in the production of the Garfield comic strip, individuals involved in parodies of the Garfield franchise, vocal critics of the Garfield franchise, and Garfield creator Jim Davis. This has only occurred on occasions where the negative reception Garfield was receiving could be traced back to Mr. Davis's management of the franchise. Upon reaching its target, SCP-3166 will attempt to inflict bodily harm upon them through a mixture of blunt force using nearby objects and force feeding of lasagna obtained through self-disembowelment. During this process, SCP-3166 will vocalize by meowing, purring, and screeching in the manner of an extremely agitated cat. Lasagna outside SCP-3166's mass has proven to be an effective form of bait for the entity, as upon seeing it, SCP-3166 will abandon its original goal and instead attempt to incorporate the pasta into itself. SCP-3166 first manifested on October 23, 1989, within the Chicago offices of United Media, who were the publishers of the Garfield comic strip at the time. Upon manifestation, SCP-3166 wandered around the offices in a confused and distressed manner before indiscriminately assaulting any individuals present after security attempted to apprehend it. It demanifested 20 minutes later. Foundation agents responding to the situation distributed amnestics as appropriate. Over the course of the following week, similar manifestations took place at a number of United Media offices around the country, ending on October 29, 1989. Following that date, SCP-3166 altered its behavior to its current form. See the Week of Garfield comic strips beginning October 23, 1989 in Supplementary Document 3166-1 for additional context on pataphysical awakening. Initially, individuals involved with the production of Garfield comic strips claimed to have no memory on working on that week's strips. All researchers working on SCP-3166 containment are to familiarize themselves on this material. Addendum 3166-1. Using tissue samples taken by Agent Mueller during SCP-3166's most recent manifestation, Genetic analysis of the meat present within the lasagna has shown it to be genetically identical to Garfield creator Jim Davis. The implications of this are currently unclear. However, during surveillance of Mr. Davis by containment teams, he has complained of severe mosquito bites in the night on a number of occasions, immediately preceding SCP-3166 manifestation. Alright, I think that about does it for today. Thank you all for listening, if indeed you still are, and you are all dismissed. Goodbye. You walk down the street on your way home after a long night. It's not yet fully raining, but there's still a slight drizzle about. You had the foresight to wear a waterproof jacket, but while it keeps you dry, it does nothing against the chill of the quiet night air. The office wasn't a pleasant place today. Apparently the strip isn't doing so well, and the numbers are going down. That's bad news for you, as if layoffs become necessary, you'll be the first one on the chopping block. Being a new hire is rough. You can't say that the fading popularity surprises you. It's been the same stale strip for years now, but apparently some investors were really upset. Some suits were prowling around today, asking questions and taking names. You stop for a minute, pulling out your phone to confirm a sneaking suspicion. Yep, you're headed the wrong way. You shouldn't be anywhere near the park. It's easy to get lost in the rain. You sigh and turn around, resigning yourself to another miserable 10 minutes of slogging through the rain. There's a figure a ways ahead of you, standing under a streetlight. You stop again, mildly unsettled by this. You call out to them asking if they're okay, but no response comes. Instead, the figure begins to plod forwards, taking a step into the light. The baggy suit slumps and sags with each step. The matted orange fur too dirty to be slicked down by the rain. The lazy-eyed face is at an angle, crudely propped up upon the head, swaying as it advances. The tail drags in the puddles, only adding on to the stains already coating it and the rest of the body. It hefts the old baseball bat it carries, picking up speed. You stumble back, beginning to run away as your fear catches in your throat, emerging as a strangled cry. You alternate between turning around and glancing back over your shoulder, desperate to escape but unwilling to let that thing out of your sight. It thumps the bat against the fence as it runs, a sickening thwack sounding with each blow. Too focused on the beast, you don't avoid the puddle and your foot slides out from under you, sending you crashing to the ground. As the world whirls around you, seeing nothing but darkness and rain, a low, agonized meow sounds from above you, immediately followed by a crushing blow to the hip. You scream out in pain, but as you gasp for a breath, a horrible, wet, tearing noise fills the air, accompanied by another guttural screech. Then, a dripping, slimy mass is slammed into your face, and your monstrous assailant begins forcing fistfuls more down your throat. Man, you hate Mondays. I would like to give a special thank you to James Saba, Arbiter Soul, Darius Tan, The Morrigan, Justin Day, Dernom, NJ Vojak, Corey Barker, Chloe Harlan, and Nathan. If you would like a special thank you at the end of each of my videos, and some other cool stuff as well, visit patreon.com/TheVolgun. Thank you.